Today in Movie Notion, we're going to be doing a full spoiler review of The Lovebirds. Welcome to Movie Notion, a channel designed to help you with your movie watching decisions. We do the research so you don't have to. Today, we will be talking about the movie The Lovebirds. In this video, we will do a full review with plenty of spoilers. So if you haven't watched the movie yet and you're considering watching it, check out our spoiler-free preview of the movie first in the link below to help you decide if this movie is right for you and your current movie watching mood. But if you have already watched the movie and would like to hear our opinions about it, stay tuned. We would also love to hear your thoughts on the movie, so don't forget to interact with us in the comment section below. We'd like to begin our review by acknowledging that filmmaking is a very difficult endeavor. A lot of talented people work hard to complete these films, and our reviews are not intended to diminish, minimize, or put down the hard work of these talented artists. We are just giving our opinions as audience members and hope that other people find these opinions useful. With that, let's get started with our review of The Lovebirds. The opening sequence of The Lovebirds was very well executed. It made us immediately connect with the main characters and care about them and their newfound romance. We all can relate to the excitement of a new relationship. The way this sequence was shot and Nanjiani's and Rey's performance really conveyed those emotions and make us identify with the initial thrill and the rush of their new romance. The actors executed the little things very well. The nervous glances, the awkward hesitations, the skittish jokes that are typical of a first date, or in their case, the morning after a hookup. All those very natural nonverbal cues communicated emotions very effectively and were a showcase of good filmmaking. Then the abrupt cut to 4 years later to a petty argument that slowly grows into a huge fight that culminates with their breakup felt very real to us. That is what makes the opening sequence of this film our very favorite thing about this movie. Our second favorite thing about this movie was the performances of both Kuamil Nanjiani and Iza Rey as the leads of the film. Nanjiani's comedic timing and his ability to do some very funny improvisations without a doubt carried this movie. Like I said in our non-spoiler review, he was like a joke machine gun, firing joke after joke. Not all of them landed, but we had some laugh-out-loud moments. Sometimes we felt like his observational humor reminded us a little bit of Jerry Seinfeld's style of observational humor, which is not a bad thing. At the same time, Nanjiani demonstrated a wide range in his acting ability, especially in that opening sequence, as not only a funny actor, but an actor that can also deliver some emotion. Iza Rey was also great in this movie. She's a proper leading lady. She kept up with Nanjiani with the humor and improvisation. We perceived her role in this film as more of the straight man to Nanjiani, but she also landed some very funny lines. Her delivery during the serious moments was also well executed, and we thoroughly enjoy her overall performance. She's also a very beautiful and attractive woman, and in our opinion, she has all the qualities necessary for a successful career as a leading actor in any future role. We are also impressed with Rey for her role off-camera. She's one of the executive producers of the film. Another aspect of the movie that we enjoyed was all the references to modern technology and what we are calling millennial humor. Lines like,
"What's your last name?"
Why? So you can Google stalk me?
Gibran ordering a shared lift while they're trying to hide from the police.
You ordered a Lyft share.
I just have it set on that option by default.
Using Instagram to make your exes jealous.
What made you think that?
Because you post those hot pictures of you and Bobby in bed.
Oh, 2 of my exes follow me. I'm just trying to make them jealous.
And the bad guy's phone passcode being 1234.
Look at that. We're in.
We also enjoy the millennial hipster couple in the alley.
she's running to now. She's just happens to be African American, and he just happens to be a person of color as well. But I don't like think they're murderers because they're minorities. I think they're murderers because they literally just killed a guy and he's playing.
Paul Sparks did a great job playing the villain. We recognize Sparks from his role in the Netflix series House of Cards and Waco. His stoic portrayal of Mustache, an unnamed New Orleans PD detective turned murderer and blackmailer, was very effective. He conveyed a sense of danger and impending doom for the main characters every time they shared the screen. We hope to see him in more prominent roles in the future. Of course, we always enjoy a good nod to the great Stanley Kubrick, one of our favorite directors of all times. The homage to Eyes Wide Shut wasn't without hilarity.
To build the pyramids to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
Where's the beef?
The cinematography by Brian Bourgain, I have no idea how to pronounce this last name, was great. We like the clean, natural look, no going overboard with overcorrecting or overcoloring in post. I love the fact that they shot the movie in New Orleans and they used beautiful indoor locations like bars, diners, and houses. The sequence that stands out more to us from a technical point of view would be the car chase in the first act, where Mustache runs over bicycle. But other than that, there was no other sequence that stood out for its visuals or any fancy camera moves. You just didn't notice the camera after a while, which ends up being a virtue when it comes to good cinematography. There were political undertones to the movie, but it is not overtly being thrown at your face, and we didn't feel like we were being hit over the head with it. Under the circumstances of the movie, anyone would have a moment of doubt about calling the police, especially if the circumstantial evidence points to your guilt. But the perspective the filmmakers wanted to showcase here is how much more difficult that could be if you are a person of color. This is what Nanjiani said in an interview he did for the New York Times. "I think I am very aware of my race and how I'm coming across at all times. So we wanted this movie to reflect that it's very different when it's two white people being accused of murder and running from the cops, as opposed to two people who are not white." In the end, the cops turned out to be completely reasonable, competent, guided by good investigation techniques and evidence, if you don't take into account that the murderer was one of their own. We think the biggest problem we have with the Lovebirds is ultimately the story. Although the filmmakers were able to create an initial strong connection between the audience and the characters in the opening sequence of the film, the story kind of fell apart after that. I guess the problem is that we have heard this story many times before. The typical story of a couple that is facing a relationship crisis and is at the brink of a breakup or some sort of major crossroads, and then all of a sudden they are thrown into a stressful situation and a dangerous situation that helps them rediscover their love for each other and figure out that they wanted to stay together all along. That story has been done before. Movies like Date Night, Game Night, and True Lies have successfully followed similar plotlines in the past, so the Lovebirds gets no points for originality here. Halfway through the movie, we lost interest in their love story, and we didn't care enough for the murder mystery for us to feel excited about seeing the conclusion through to the end. The only thing that kept us watching was the occasional joke that landed here and there. The story was quite predictable. However, we need to consider that this is not primarily a murder mystery movie. It is supposed to be a comedy. In that sense, the Lovebirds did deliver some laughs, but as we said in our preview video, we wouldn't consider this movie to be a comedy classic. It is not a movie we will be rewatching anytime soon. The Lovebirds failed to deliver in the most important aspect of a movie, the story. This is why we scored this movie a 6 out of 10. But as we said in our preview of the movie, we do think that this is a movie worth watching during one of those nights when you and your significant other can't reach a compromise on what to watch. Especially if one of you is into romantic comedies and the other one is into action movies. This movie has a good blend between the two genres, and the comedy glues it all together. So, what did you think about The Lovebirds? Did you like the story? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you would like to support our show, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, watch our other videos, and check out our merch store at www.movienotion.store.